Yo, it's Gucci. It's your boy Symmetry, aka Chase, aka Chick Attack, aka a zero. Just like you, out here being nothing, making something out of nothing every day. And we got a question. We're in here, baby. All right, I got your questions like written down. Again, I know it's been 2+ months, and I've just been like hoarding questions. So, whoever you are, you know who you are. Again, if you're not familiar with this, every episode we just answer someone's question from Instagram. Hit me up. Shit. I'm not putting anyone on blast because sometimes these questions get personal, of course. Like this one, kinda. But I mean, it's relatable as fuck, which is why we're talking about it. Hey Thoth, who am I? I find myself inside a human body in this vastly complex world, working a job and functioning under an identity that I've constructed in reaction to the governments that rule over me and everyone I love with these responsibilities they've made up. Shout out this person. I've come to the realization that most of the info I've learned about myself and the world are lies meant to enslave me. My question is, who am I? Who are we at the base level? Big time shout out this person, bruh, because like trying to act like we didn't all go through some kind of school system that actually just taught us straight up lies. 100%. This is a whole thing, right? Like actually being told that you don't really know anything and that other people know more than you, and then everyone, right? Like everyone can just stay arguing if they live in the ego, because the ego works really hard to cling onto light and cling onto information. So when we're coming into this world, a lot of the warfare is being taught that we are this body, so then we can then be taught by all these different systems that want our body, and more so the soul that created this body, and more so the spirit that created the feeling that is the soul, which was required to create this body, which is what these entities are after, will teach you that, yeah, you're just the body, and then there's hella systems here about what that body is. And then everyone can resonate and argue with each other and feel differently about what the body is and what's really going on here, when at the base level, we're about to talk about it right now. Base level. And we already hinted at it at the beginning, right? Nothing. We're all nothing. We are all nothing. And the thing is, imagination is the infinite expression of nothing. I can't think of a simpler way to put it. The fact that you can imagine anything, that came out of nothing. So your individual section of nothing, right, in all the vast nothingness of infinity, of infinite nothing, you are participating in creating infinity by expressing your imagination, right? From nothing, you create this fire. You create all this desire, all these dancing flames that represent you. And we can just call this dreams, right? Again, I'm calling it, keep bringing it down to base level. When you go to sleep and you dream, you can see that that's just straight up your imagination, right? And it is generally like imagination that is informed by this imagination, by your experiences in this world. And then, you know, maybe even experiences from other bodies that your soul has, right? So that's where, at the base level, we are nothing and we're creating everything from nothing. So again, like millions of people, like we're all dealing with this school system and these just systems in general that are teaching us that our consciousness, that we're actually created from this world. And I want you to know spiritually that's an entity who wants to trap you in their version of imagination, in their version of this world. They want to use this world, the fact that you resonated with this world enough to create a body here, but ignorant enough to not know exactly who you are, because that's part of your ascension process. They get to come in and hijack that based on how they ascended earlier, and they decide to step down and use their shit wrong. So that's what we're dealing with, where we fundamentally create reality, and we are all individual parts of nothing, then being individual fractions of infinity, which, what is a fraction of infinity? Like any fraction of infinity, it's infinity. It's like, it's just straight up always going to be infinite. So no matter how small you are, you're infinite. Like, this is mathematically facts. And then from there, it's just literally about your awareness. It's literally about if you believe in yourself enough to create your own religion, right? Because that's literally the only thing that separates religions that are big out here versus people who don't have any, is who feels empowered enough to use spiritual principles and resonate with enough people to create some kind of system of belief. But to create something for others to believe in, you have to believe in yourself first. This is why so many systems, the governments out here, are teaching people to believe in them instead of themselves. Or else, I mean, if you actually believed in yourself, you wouldn't want to work a fucking job, right? Like, you're asking me about, being a slave. You're talking about how you are given all this light form, all this Lucifer doctrine that isn't you, the social security number and all this shit, and upholding expectations from your family that aren't you. And it's not your spiritual purpose. Your spiritual purpose is to learn how to navigate through these, not necessarily destroy these light forms, but use them. This is what we're talking about. Everything is light, dark, and nothingness. If we're just going to break it down to three, nothingness creates dark to express itself, and then dark creates light to express itself. Generally, dark is invisible. This is why light is always noticed first, because light is what's visible. But just know that light always came from something invisible, which is darkness. And that darkness is the representation of nothingness, which is you, the spirit, the like true just nothing. And so we're all just creating our reality, infinite realities, with our awarenesses. And it's just about, what awareness are you at? And hella people are trapped at the awareness of they are not only a product of this body, but then, like, once this body dies, yeah, they're gone. And so then that's where it just becomes YOLO, and people live directly in the ego. So this is a spiritual warfare. Because when you live directly in the ego, anyone can control you. That's your thing, right? The more you really do believe and live by the idea that you need money and you need these things that money provides, and you need the validation of your family, you need anything, any light. Just the idea you need anything, like you didn't create it. Like you need something you made. It came out of you. You don't need anything that you made up. So, right, you had to be convinced that something made up you. And then that thing knows more about you than you know about yourself. And so that's why, I'm sure you probably eat every day. Shit, most people eat every day. And that's just because most people were taught, everyone was taught, that they need to eat every day, because they don't know that they're making their bodies from their thoughts. They think that the thoughts of this world made their body, and then their experience is a product of this body. We're not about that over here. So, in the long and short of it, that's it, right? You are nothing. You are nothing creating imagination. You are nothing then creating infinite anything, just light forms, feelings, whatever the fuck you want to express yourself. Basically, it's kind of that simple. And then it's just about how much do you believe in your expression, and just keep ascending from there. It's like, it is truly this simple, because it does come down to your spirit, your portion of nothing, you being nothing, you creating an imagination from that nothing, and that imagination then being able to feel. And you create these feelings, you create these waters about what parts of your imagination do you resonate the most with, basically. And then that's why you're on earth. You're on earth because you resonate with the desires, the imaginations of all the other spirits that made this body of water, or else you would be somewhere else. So from there, from those feelings, yeah, you fuse your imagination and your feeling. And by fusing that water and fire, you communicate, and that's the air. And then that's how you actually just start making everything connected. Because until you're actually connecting your imagination and the feelings that you are creating about your imagination, you're just like living in some sort of disharmony. And a lot of people, we're seeing this even with coronavirus, right? They're coming for communication so that they can directly control through this device I'm talking to you through how people feel, and what people imagine, and yeah, how people feel about the imagination, the lights that come up on here. Now, shit can be perfectly beautiful out here in reality, like perfectly beautiful. But if you're staring at something that's telling you it's not, then you're going to create the feelings that make that so. And now you're going to start seeing it in your reality, even if it wasn't really there. So this is why feeling/water is everything. Because that you had to feel like doing something to even make that happen in the first place. So this is why you're alive. You feel like being here. No matter how much you complain about being forced to do shit, that's like your spiritual reminder. You're not killing yourself because you know that you came here for a reason. And it's just that these things are in your way. So now you're learning about yourself based on how these things are in your way. And honestly, we've all just basically got to communicate and level up together. Because the more we keep thinking that we have to work by the system and rules that have already been set in place, the more the people who have gone out of their way to murder, rape, and commit vile, heinous genocide against continents of people to make that happen will continue to prosper. Because this is why they control the environment, and they work to make you think you are a product of the environment. They can't control the spirit realm. Like you can't be controlled. So they have to convince you that you're in a form that they can control, aka your body. And when you know that you are a spirit in a body, they can't even control your body really anymore. Now it's just you playing the game and you practicing discernment and doing things on your rules because you came here to learn.